You can eat clean, take probiotics every day, and still be damaging your gut every single morning. After 60, your gut becomes far more fragile than most people ever realize. As a medical doctor, I see this pattern over and over again in people who truly believe they're doing everything right. Today, I'll reveal 7 common morning habits that quietly destroy your gut health and exactly what to do instead to protect it. And here's the part that surprises most people. One of these habits looks healthy, but it's actually doing more harm than good. Before we talk about the mistakes, you need to understand why your gut changes so much after 60, because this isn't about weakness, it's about biology. As we age, the digestive system doesn't work the way it used to, even if your diet hasn't changed at all. Let me explain. First, stomach acid naturally declines with age. This acid isn't the enemy. It's what helps you break down protein, absorb minerals like calcium, iron, and B12, and kill harmful bacteria before it reaches your intestines. When stomach acid is too low, food sits longer in the stomach, ferments, and causes bloating, pressure, and reflux, even in people who eat healthy. Second, gut motility slows down. In simple terms, your intestines move food more slowly than they used to. This leads to constipation, gas, and that uncomfortable feeling of heaviness that many people just accept as normal aging. But it's not normal, it's a signal. Third, your body produces fewer digestive enzymes with age. These enzymes are what break food down so your body can actually use the nutrients you eat. Without enough enzymes, you may be eating well, but absorbing poorly. And when nutrients don't get absorbed, energy drops, muscles weaken, and fatigue becomes part of everyday life. Now let's talk about something even more important, your gut microbiome. As we get older, the diversity of beneficial gut bacteria declines. You have fewer good bacteria and more inflammatory strains begin to dominate. This imbalance increases chronic inflammation, which affects far more than digestion. It impacts your immune system, your joints, and even your brain. That's why many people over 60 experience frequent infections, low mood, memory lapses, and that persistent brain fog they can't quite explain. Here's the key point I want you to remember. The problem isn't what you eat. Most people watching this are already trying to eat better than they did years ago. The real issue is how you start your day. Because in the morning, your gut is at its most sensitive, most dehydrated, and most vulnerable. And certain morning habits done within minutes of waking up can quietly make all of these age-related changes worse. That's why fixing your morning routine can dramatically improve digestion, energy, and even mental clarity without changing your entire diet. So let's begin. Let's start with the first mistake most people make within minutes of waking up. Let's begin with the first habit. This one is extremely common, and for many people, it feels almost impossible to give up. Habit 1, drinking coffee on an empty stomach. If the very first thing you drink in the morning is coffee, especially on an empty stomach, your gut may be paying a much higher price than you realize. Here's why. Coffee immediately stimulates cortisol, your primary stress hormone. Now, cortisol is not always bad, but first thing in the morning, when cortisol is already naturally high, coffee can push it too far. This creates a stress response before your digestive system is even ready to work. At the same time, coffee increases stomach acid production. In a younger gut, this might not cause major problems. But after 60, the protective lining of the stomach becomes thinner, more sensitive, and easier to irritate. The result? Burning, acid reflux, stomach pain, or loose stools, sometimes within minutes. In my clinical experience, people over 60 who drink coffee on an empty stomach have a much higher risk of reflux, gastritis, and chronic gut irritation. And many are shocked when I tell them this, because they've been doing it for decades. The issue isn't coffee itself, it's timing. When coffee hits an empty, dehydrated, aging gut, it acts like a chemical irritant, not a gentle wake-up. But coffee isn't the only problem. There's another mistake that quietly worsens digestion before you even take your first bite of food. Habit 2, starting the day dehydrated. Most people wake up already dehydrated. You've gone 6, 8, sometimes 10 hours without water, and yet many people don't drink any fluids until long after they wake up. This has serious consequences for the gut. When you're dehydrated, your digestive fluids become thicker. Stomach acid, bile, intestinal secretions all move more slowly. This immediately slows bowel movements, making constipation more likely and digestion less efficient. Even more concerning, dehydration encourages the reabsorption of toxins back into the bloodstream. Instead of being eliminated, waste products sit longer in the colon, contributing to inflammation, fatigue, and that heavy, sluggish feeling many people feel by mid-morning. Here's the silent problem. As we age, the thirst signal becomes less reliable. Many older adults simply don't feel thirsty, even when their body desperately needs water. So they assume everything is fine while their digestion quietly struggles. By the time symptoms appear, bloating, constipation, low energy, the damage has already been building for years. The good news is this: both of these habits can be corrected easily without giving up coffee forever and without drastic lifestyle changes. It simply requires supporting your gut before you stimulate it. Now let's talk about breakfast, because many foods labeled as healthy breakfasts are actually doing more harm than good to an aging gut. Now let's talk about breakfast, because this is where many people, especially after 60, are unintentionally harming their gut while trying to do the right thing. Habit 3. Eating a healthy but gut-irritating breakfast. I often hear people say, "My breakfast is very healthy." And on paper, it looks that way. Raw smoothies, cold yogurt with fruit, whole grain cereals, sugar-free products with artificial sweeteners. But for an aging gut, these foods can quietly backfire. Here's why. After 60, digestion is slower and stomach acid is lower. Raw foods, especially raw fruits and vegetables, are harder to break down. When they aren't digested properly, they ferment in the gut. This fermentation produces gas, pressure, and bloating, often just an hour or two after breakfast. Cold foods make this worse. Cold yogurt, cold smoothies, or food straight from the refrigerator can slow digestion even further, causing cramping and discomfort in sensitive intestines. Then there's sugar, even natural sugar. Fruit-heavy smoothies, sweetened yogurts, and high-sugar cereals cause rapid blood sugar spikes. These spikes don't just affect energy, they disrupt the gut microbiome and increase inflammation. Artificial sweeteners may seem like a better option, but they can confuse gut bacteria and worsen bloating, gas, and irregular bowel movements. So let me be clear, these foods are not bad. They're simply not ideal first thing in the morning for an aging digestive system. What matters is not just what you eat, but when and how your gut is prepared to handle it. But breakfast alone isn't the whole story. There's another habit that may be harming your digestion even more than food itself. Habit 4, rushing the morning. Chronic stress response. If your mornings feel rushed, chaotic, or stressful, your digestion never even gets a chance to turn on. Here's what's happening inside your body. Stress activates the fight or flight response. When that happens, your body diverts blood away from the digestive system and toward the brain and muscles. Digestion is essentially put on pause. Food may enter the stomach, but it is not processed efficiently. This leads to poor nutrient absorption, bloating, and that heavy, uncomfortable feeling that lingers all morning. Common triggers include checking your phone immediately after waking up, scrolling through stressful news, rushing to get dressed or out the door, skipping breakfast because there's no time. Each of these tells your nervous system that you're under threat, even when you're not, and your gut responds accordingly. Over time, this repeated stress response creates chronic digestive problems. People wonder why they feel tired, foggy, or unsettled after eating. Often, the issue isn't the food. It's the state of the nervous system when the food is eaten. The good news is this: you don't need a perfect morning routine. You just need a calmer one. Even a few minutes of slowing down can dramatically improve digestion and nutrient absorption. But stress isn't the only hidden trigger. Your medications also play a role. Now let's talk about 2 habits that are extremely common after 60, yet rarely discussed when it comes to gut health. Both seem harmless. Both are done with good intentions, but over time, they can quietly undermine your digestion. Habit 5, taking medications or supplements on an empty stomach. Many people wake up, reach for their medications or supplements, and swallow them with a sip of water before eating anything at all. For some medications, this may be necessary, but for many others, this habit can irritate the gut and reduce the benefits you're trying to gain. Common offenders include pain relievers, certain diabetes medications, iron supplements, calcium supplements. Taken on an empty stomach, these substances come into direct contact with an already sensitive stomach lining. After 60, that lining is thinner, less protected, and slower to repair. The result? Burning, nausea, stomach discomfort, and increased inflammation over time. There's another problem many people don't realize. Without food present, some medications and supplements are absorbed less effectively. So not only do they irritate the gut, they may also work less well. This often leads people to increase doses, adding even more stress to the digestive system. The issue isn't that these medications are harmful, it's that timing matters, especially for an aging gut. With proper timing and support, many of these side effects can be significantly reduced, sometimes eliminated altogether. Now let's move to the next habit. This one doesn't involve pills or supplements, but it has a powerful effect on long-term gut function. Habit 6. Ignoring the morning urge to use the bathroom. If you've ever felt the urge to use the bathroom in the morning and ignored it, you're not alone. Many people delay because they're rushing, traveling, or simply don't want to deal with it. But this habit can slowly disrupt the gut-brain connection. Your digestive system works on rhythm. When you repeatedly ignore the urge to go, the brain learns to stop sending strong signals. Over time, this weakens communication between the gut and the nervous system. The result is less frequent bowel movements, harder stools, and eventually chronic constipation. As stool sits longer in the colon, pressure builds. This increases inflammation, irritates the colon walls, and can worsen conditions like diverticulosis or hemorrhoids. Many people think constipation is just part of getting older. It's not. It's often the result of years of ignoring the body's natural signals. The morning is actually the most important time for healthy bowel movements. Your nervous system is primed. Your gut reflexes are strongest. Respecting that urge, even a few days a week, can make a remarkable difference in digestion and comfort. We've covered 6 habits so far. Each one alone may seem small, but together they can significantly slow digestion and increase gut inflammation after 60. And finally, there's one habit that seems completely harmless, but affects gut movement more than most people ever realize. Now we come to the final habit. This one seems harmless, almost invisible, but for digestion after 60, it may be one of the most damaging of all. Habit 7. Sitting still all morning. If your morning looks like this, you wake up, sit down to check your phone, sit to drink coffee, sit to eat breakfast, and then sit for hours afterward, your gut never truly wakes up. The intestines are not passive organs. They rely on movement to push food forward through gentle wave-like contractions. When you sit still for long periods, intestinal movement slows. Food lingers, gas builds, bloating increases. At the same time, blood flow to the digestive organs decreases, reducing oxygen and nutrient delivery to the gut lining. This is why so many people feel stiff, bloated, and heavy by mid-morning, even if they haven't eaten much. It's not just age, it's inactivity. From a medical standpoint, gentle movement is one of the most powerful tools for supporting digestion after 60. Movement activates gut motility, improves glucose control, and helps the body process food more efficiently. And no, this does not mean intense exercise. A short walk, light stretching, slow, deep breathing while standing. Even 5 to 10 minutes can significantly improve digestion for the rest of the morning. Here's the truth. Your gut was designed to move, especially in the morning. Movement is the signal that tells your digestive system it's time to work. When you combine gentle movement with proper hydration, calmer mornings, and better timing of food and medications, you give your gut exactly what it needs to function well, even after 60. We've covered a lot today. 7 habits, all very common, all done with good intentions, and yet each one can quietly damage your gut, especially after 60. But here's the most important message I want you to take away. These habits are not permanent. They are not irreversible, and they are much easier to fix than most people think. As a medical doctor, I want to reassure you of this. Your gut can improve at any age when you stop harming it unknowingly. The digestive system has an incredible ability to recover when you give it the right conditions, and those conditions often begin in the first hour of your morning. You don't need drastic changes, you don't need extreme diets, and you don't need to do everything perfectly. Small shifts, drinking water before coffee, choosing gentler breakfasts, moving your body just a little, Slowing down your morning can lead to better digestion, more energy throughout the day, and a stronger immune system over time. Consistency matters more than intensity. If even one of these habits resonated with you, that awareness alone is already the first step toward healing. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen when you start protecting your gut instead of unknowingly stressing it. If you found this video helpful, please like it. It helps others find this information too. And if you want more guidance on healthy aging, digestion, and protecting your body after 60, subscribe to the channel, and I'd love to hear from you. Which habit surprised you the most? Leave a comment below and let me know. Remember this: protect your mornings, and your gut will protect your future. I'll see you in the next video.